Thank you. Question number 1 from Florida, United States, Mr. Collins. In my meditation practice, when bliss arises due to concentration, should I ignore it and stay with my meditation object?
Yes, just ignore because you want to go deeper. As long if you still can concentrate on your breathing, keep concentrating until your mind eventually drop into emptiness. When bliss disappear, and what you have instead is equanimity. That's the final result that you want. It's a mind that is peaceful and at ease and neutral. Have no like or dislike, no hate or love.
So we just know.
Just keep concentrating. If you're using your breathing, you just keep concentrating on your breathing and forget or ignore the bliss that happened. Then you will pass that stage and go into deeper until the mind become totally blank, empty, and happy, better than the bliss.
So when Uncle say blank means blank from the breathing object.
Everything disappear, even the breath disappear. The mind is like floating in space by itself. All you see is the one who knows, the knower.
Question number 2 from Belgium, from Mr. Chris. When I'm meditating and concentrate on my breathing in and breathing out, after a while I have to swallow and then I lost my concentration. Can Ajahn give advice?
Try not to worry about the saliva. Just forget about it. Just concentrate on the breathing. And if you feel that the saliva might overflow out of your mouth, just let it be. Let it be. It won't, you just think about it, that's all. The more you think about it, the more saliva you will be creating. So to overcome this problem is to ignore the feeling that you have to swallow the saliva. Just keep concentrating and let the saliva alone. Then it will not bother you. Then you will not lose your concentration. If you cannot go beyond this point, then you will be stuck here with your saliva. So just keep concentrating on your breathing. Just be aware that you're breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, and forget about the saliva. If you feel the saliva will flow out of your mind, let it flow out. It doesn't matter. You can wipe it out later on. But it doesn't really happen. It's just your imagination.
So don't have to swallow just
No, just keep concentrating on your breathing. The same thing with when you feel scratch, when you feel itchy here and there. Don't try to go scratch it. Leave it alone. Then eventually that feeling of itch will disappear. Same thing, everything. Just let the body natural. Leave it natural. If it wants to cough by itself, let it cough by itself. But don't force the cough by you. Just leave it alone. Leave everything alone. Just concentrate on the breathing.
So after the cough, then you go back to your meditation object or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Question number 3. A lay person has to deal with a lot of problems in life, like paying rent, supporting wife and kids, finding work, etc. I visited many temples and I saw some monks actually doing nothing, and now monks have latest iPhone, laptop, and some monks travel a lot, etc. Is the life of a monk more difficult than a lay person? For me, life as a lay person seems more difficult.
It depends on what kind of monks you see. Monk who strive for nibbana doesn't have iPhone, doesn't travel around. They go wandering in the forest, living under harsh condition and scarcity. So this is that's the life of a real monk. The monk you see nowadays are just the fake monks. So they live on comfort. See? But their goal is not for the enlightenment. See? Their goal is to have a comfortable life. So they use the religion as the means of making themselves comfortable. But if they really strive for Nibbana, they would live in harsh and bad condition, scarcity, eat once a day, eat in the bowl, eat from the food that they collect on the arms around, live in the forest, live in a small hut, live in the cave, no electricity, no running water, no amenities. That's the real monk live. The fake monk now they live in air conditioned, living in condos and travel on jet planes, have iPhone, have everything. That's not real monk. So if you look at monk, this kind of monk, then you would think that monk have an easier way of life than lay people.
Question number 4 from Italy. I used to have panic attacks a few years ago and I was afraid all the time to lose control and lose consciousness, so I used to stay alert and present all the time, but in a bad way, like in an anguish way. So when I meditate, I reproduce that feeling of wrong awareness, and when I finish the meditation session, I have this overwhelming darkness feeling of hopelessness. When I focus on the breath or movement of the stomach, even though I try to relax and not to control it, I end up controlling my breath and it becomes broken and my chest and mind feels so heavy and dark. Can Ajahn advise, please?
Well, that means you don't have a strong enough concentration yet. So you cannot concentrate on your breath. So what you have to do, you have to do some other form, like recite a sutra, chant a sutta or recite a sutta to sort of make your mind occupied with the recitation until your mind becomes calm, and then the mind's resistance will be lessened. Then you can then direct the mind to focus or concentrate on your breathing.
Okay. Question number 5. I realized that upon sitting, reciting and counting Bhutto for a while, for about an hour and 10 minutes, my mind starts to drift away more often. In order to build the strength of my mindfulness, should I just keep continuing in this position or should I start go for walking meditation?
You can maintain mindfulness in all 4 postures. You can walk, you can sit. Whatever you do, you should develop or maintain mindfulness. Because if you rely on maintaining mindfulness just when you sit in meditation, mindfulness will not be strong enough. So you have to develop mindfulness from the time you get up. When you get up, you have to use something to keep your mind from thinking. You can use a mantra like Bhutto, Bhutto, or you can focus on your body activity. Whatever your body is doing, just focus on that activity only. Like if you're washing, you're taking a shower, bathing, or brushing your teeth, dressing, just be with that activity only. Don't let your mind go think about other things. Then you are developing and maintaining mindfulness. If you can do this, by the time you sit, you'll have strong mindfulness. Then you can sit and just watch your breathing or recite the mantra, and your mind can become calm and peaceful very quickly.
Question number 6 from Brazil, from Miss Josiana. How can I develop contentment in life? I have a lot of samvega, but instead of feeling inner peace, I can only feel discontentment towards the samsara and urge to be free from it. Because of this, my mind cannot settle down during meditation. It's getting lost in thoughts and getting distracted, and I think it's because I'm lacking contentment. However, no matter how hard I try to feel contentment through, for example, trying to feel thankful for being alive and stuff like that, I still cannot settle down, which is because I can only see impermanence and futility around me. Do you have some ideas of what should I do in order to develop contentment in my life?
Real contentment comes from peace of mind, comes from a calm and settled mind. In order to make the mind calm and settled, you need mindfulness. So you have to develop mindfulness a lot from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. And when you have time to sit and meditate, and then your mind will become calm and settled, then you will have contentment, real contentment. You don't have to force or think about contentment. Contentment cannot be forced upon or cannot be think about. Contentment only comes from your ability to calm your mind, to settle your mind, to make your mind peaceful and calm. And this you need mindfulness, strong mindfulness, continuous mindfulness. So try to develop mindfulness all the time when you're not sitting. And when you're sitting, then this mindfulness will be very strong, and it will then bring the mind into calm and settle.
Question number 7 from Lizzie Woon. Dear Ajahn, how about strong desire or longing to renounce the worldly life with motivation to practice to full enlightenment? Is this considered a desire? Can you please kindly explain if this kind of desire, as late Ajahn Chah said, stop trying to be anyone, don't try to make yourself into anything because this will cause suffering. So is a strong desire to renounce considered as desire?
There are two types of desire. The desire that creates suffering or dukkha, and the desire that causes the suffering to stop. Like the desire to renounce the worldly life and to take up the holy life, to become a monk, to meditate. This is good desire, because this desire will lead to the cessation of suffering. So you have to know which one is good and which one is bad. The desire to follow the Buddha's teaching is good desire, and the desire to go against the Buddha's teaching is bad desire. Okay.
Question number 8 from Singapore, from Miss Huang. How to deal with meditation stage where there is white light coming only to disappear shortly and there's no more improvement after that? Can Ajahn advise me on this, please?
Just ignore what happened and keep concentrating on your meditation object. Just keep on focusing, keep on meditating until your mind go in deeper, until everything disappears and all that is left is emptiness.
Okay. Question number 9 from Perth, Australia, from Miss Moon. I've heard from other people that after parinibbana, the mind of the Buddhas and other arahants no longer exists, like a flame extinguished. However, in your talks, you say that the mind of the Buddha and other arahants still exists after parinibbana, and some people are able to communicate with them. Can Ajahn explain, please?
Well, the mind of every being, whether enlightened or not enlightened, is not destructible. They cannot disappear. The mind of an enlightened person and an unenlightened person differs only in the defilements. An enlightened person has get rid of the defilements, so the mind becomes pure. While an unenlightened person still have defilements, and this defilement causes them to go take up birth. See, but both the mind of the enlightened and unenlightened exist all the time, never disappear. Let me give you an example. Your clothing that you wear, when you wear your clothing, it gets dirty. So you put in the washing machine to wash the dirtiness out of the clothing. Once you finish washing, does your clothing disappear with the dirtiness? Okay. The same way, when you meditate and you became enlightened and you achieve parinibbana, you have a clean mind. That's all. Which is different from a mind that has not been washed, been practiced, been enlightened. That mind is still dirty with defilements. So this dirtiness causes the mind to go take up new birth. See? So when you have new birth, you think, oh, the mind is still in existence. But when there's no birth, you say the mind is no longer in existence. Because you look at existence at the birth, at the body, see. Because you cannot see the mind. The mind is invisible. So for people who say that once the Buddha passed away, his body disappeared, then his mind also disappeared. It's like a blind person describing an elephant. When he touches the tusk of an elephant, he says an elephant is like a spear. Another blind person, when he touches the tail of the elephant, he says, oh no, an elephant is like a rope. See? This is the same way of people who he doesn't practice, who hasn't yet become enlightened. They will assume that once the Buddha passed away, his mind also passed away with his body. Clear? Clear enough?
Okay. Question number 10 from Toronto, Canada, from Miss Deborah. Is it okay to spay or neuter animals, or is it better to leave their reproductive cycles alone? And what's the reason for their answer?
It depends on what you want. If you want to control the birth of your animal, then you what you call
Neuter.
Yeah. But it's not considered to be a harmful act. It's not, doesn't break the sila in any way. So it depends on what you want. You want to control birth, then you have to do it. You have to practice birth control. If you don't want to control birth, then you live it naturally, and suffer the consequence of having many puppies or have many babies. But it's not considered to be breaking the sila. It's not killing.
Question number 11. Is there a difference between jhana and jnana? If so, what is the difference? So I asked, jnana means the 16th stage of vipassana knowledge.
See, jhana is absorption. The mind absorbed in peace, has 9 levels. 4 rupa jhana, 4 arupa jhana, and the last one, the complete cessation of the vedana sanya. This is jhana, means absorption in peace. Vajnana means knowledge or enlightenment. See, jnana means knowledge, and there are 16 levels of knowledge that you can acquire from your practice. So the two words doesn't mean the same thing. One is jnana, the other is jhana. See? Jhana means samadhi, jnana means vipassana or wisdom.
So do we have to go to jhana 9 first before vipassana?
No, you only need the 4th jhana. Then from the 4th jhana, then you can practice vipassana.
Question number 12. I was thinking to come and do a 1-week retreat at your monastery, but do you think that is good? It is just good to practice at a quiet location near where I live?
Yes, anywhere is good when it's quiet and you're alone and not to be disturbed by your surrounding. So better to find a place where it's most convenient for you to practice.
So not necessary.
Not necessary, because nowadays you can listen to Dhamma from the internet, from Facebook, from YouTube. You can read books from the internet. You have any question, you can send in question and ask. So there's really no need to be physically close to a teacher. But you need a physical, quiet environment to practice. So if you can find, even in your condominium, if you live alone and nobody disturbs you and you can spend all your time in your condominium, you can practice in your condominium.
Question number 13 from Mr. Theo. Is it possible for a homosexual man to ordain as a monk if he is able to suppress his desire for other men, maybe through the practice of asubha on various body parts and also on idea nothing is permanent, and eventually all the men will age, sick and die and return to the 4 elements? You said in the last Q&A that homosexuals have desire on other males. That's why we don't accept homosexuals to ordain, because they might have sexual activities with other monks. Is this rule fixed or strictly enforced? Thank you.
I guess nowadays I heard there many a lot homosexual being ordained. As long as you don't declare yourself homosexual when you go apply for ordination, no one would know. So there's no one asks you whether you're homosexual or not when you apply for ordination. So if you don't tell, then there's no. They have this policy, well, don't tell, don't say, or whatever. You know, it's the same thing here. But if you tell that you're homosexual, then it somehow makes it not appropriate to ordain, because, like I said, you know, when you like the same sex and you're so close to each other, when your desire happen to arise and you cannot control it, then it can cause problem, especially to yourself, because once you commit this act, you will be permanently barred from being ordained again in the future. So, as long as you think you can control your desire, and you're not asked whether you are homosexual or not, then you don't have to declare yourself to be one. I see monks who are homosexual, but who they seem to be okay, just like normal, like other normal heterosexual men. They also have desire, but they manage to control their desire.
Question number 14, Ajahn. Under what situations should we practice asupa? Is it recommended for lay person to do asupa because it can be quite gory and it makes someone sick and weak, or even cannot eat a meal after the practice?
Asupa is for those people who want to practice the eight precepts or more, because you want to stop using the body as your way of having happiness. So if you want to keep the eight precepts, then you have to abstain from sexual activity. So asupa will become handy when you have this sexual desire. If you think of asupa, think of the unsavory nature of the body, then you can suppress or stop your sexual desire and then maintain your precepts. This for those people who want to practice meditation on a more professional or more intense basis. But for a lay person who just practice occasional meditation, you don't need asupa, because you still have to have a sexual activity with your spouse or your partner. So, and especially if you find it very very bad emotionally for you to contemplate, then it means you're not ready for this kind of practice yet. Then you just have to maintain the 5 precepts and live a good lay person, live a good family life, you know. But sometimes it can help if you start to go astray. Like if you cannot keep the 3rd precept, being fidelity, being faithful to your partner, then if you contemplate on the asupa of the person that you want to have sexual activity with, it might stop your sexual desire. But this is on a case by case, you know. If you don't want to control your sexual desire, then asupa is not good for you.
And question number 15, and how do people practice asupa? Is it that people have to see rotting corpse or use the internet to search the gory and bloody pictures of the corpse and the various body parts and then proceed to visualize them repeatedly when meditating?
You don't have to look at the gory part if you cannot handle it at first. You can look at something more benign, like look at the anatomy of the body. Maybe looking at the maybe graphic drawing of the anatomy of the body first before you go look at the real thing. Yeah. The point is for you to see the other side of the body. We usually see the attractive side of the body. That's what makes us have sexual desire. If we want to get rid of sexual desire, then we have to look at the other side of the body. the unattractive side of the body. And this you have to go either inside the body or look at the corpse. It's the other side of the body that we don't see a lot of. That's why we forget that the body that's so attractive can be also very unattractive. So it depends on what you want. If you want to curb or get rid of your sexual desire, because you find it's more burdensome than more useful, then you need to contemplate on the unattractive side of the body, and you can choose the intensity or the level of unattractiveness of the body.
So after see the picture, then we visualize them repeatedly during meditation?
Just repeat it all the time, whether you're in meditation or not. See, you want to have that picture in the back of your mind. Whenever you have sexual desire, then you can bring it out to stop your sexual desire.
Question number 16 from Penang, Malaysia, from Kun Ho. Kindly explain in simple layman terms anatta, the last of the Tilakkhana.
Anatta means natural processes. There's no person or somebody who can direct these natural processes. Like the wind, the sun, the rain. These are natural processes, anatta. So is the body. But our delusion, we separate the body, our body, from the natural processes. We think that the body is under our control, which we can control it to a certain amount, but not all. You cannot control death, you cannot control old age, you cannot control sickness. So this is anatta also, but our delusion somehow make us look at the body as atta, as something controllable. But in fact, our body is just like the wind, the rain, and the sun.
So is the knower is anatta?
Huh?
Is the knower anatta?
No, the knower is just a knower, someone who knows. But he knows under delusion, see. So this delusion causes him to have attachment and suffering, see. So you need the enlightened person like the Buddha to come and say, leave everything alone. Everything is natural processes. You cannot control them. Leave them alone. Then you will let go of them. Then you will not be suffered by them.
Question number 17 from Indonesia, from Miss Aini. How to bring Vitakka and Vichara to jhana?
Vitakka jhana is part of jhana. The first jhana have Vitakka, Vichara. See, when you watch your breathing, you are doing Vitakka, Vichara. I'm breathing in, I know I'm breathing in, I'm not breathing out. This is Vitakka, Vichara. And when you do it continuously, you get rapture, you got bliss from doing it. And if you go deeper, then all this rapture and bliss will disappear, and all you have left is emptiness and ubekkha. Just keep focusing on your breathing.
Question number 18. This question is related to the article we posted on how to fix the anger. From Mr. Nicola Miles. How do I apply this to someone who has caused me harm in the past? I do not desire them to be any different to how they are exactly, but the memory of the pain they caused in the past make me angry now.
Well, just try not to think of the past. And the reason why you keep thinking of the past because you have no ability to bring your mind back into the present. So you need to develop mindfulness. If you have mindfulness, then you can bring the mind to stay in the present. Then whatever happened in the past will disappear from your mind. So what you need now is to develop mindfulness. Keep focusing on something, and then your mind cannot go to the past or go to the future. Or you can use a mantra. When you think of the past, just repeat the mantra, recite the mantra. If you can keep reciting for a while, then you will forget of the past that you've been thinking about.
So even from the person who harmed me in the past, so I just forget about it.
Yeah. To forgive is to forget. To forget is to forgive. See? So you have to stay in the present. And you need mindfulness to bring your mind back into the present. Your mind without mindfulness will like to go to the past and go to the future. So you need mindfulness to bring it back to the present. Use something to anchor your mind to stay in the present, like a mantra or your body. Just keep watching what your body is doing at the time.
Okay. Question number 19 from Brunei, from Mr. Dennis. I realized my problem was a mental problem because I could not let go of my desire to care for and to love someone whom I once thought we could have a fruitful relationship. This desire created both hatred and love in me. I'm fighting to be positive and always read Dhamma book like Dhammapada and meditation books to stay positive and not do harm to others. This mental struggle takes a beating to my mind. It's like I'm standing with Buddha above me and Mara below me. Do good when I see Buddha and do bad when I see Mara. Please advise me the right Dhamma to remove my desire to care and love for someone, or not to be generous with someone who knows that this person can use financial help. Am I being a miser or desiring for recognition for doing generous act? I'm doing Maranusati meditation now and breath meditation. Are these helpful?
You need mindfulness and wisdom to solve all your problems. Everybody's problem is the same. The ability not be able to control their thoughts. When they think of good thing, they feel happy. But when they think about bad thing, they feel unhappy. But they cannot stop this unhappiness because they cannot stop their thinking. So what they have to do is first to develop mindfulness. So to be able to stop the thinking when the thinking is bad. Then once you have that, the next thing is to think positively. Direct the mind to think positively. Think of anicca, that life is short. Sooner or later you're going to lose everything anyway. So why bother have anything when you're going to lose them? See? If you can do these two things, then you will be able to keep your mind in a good track, let's put it that way.
Question number 20 from Miss Adelaide, France. It's commonly said that a Sotapanna never breaks the precept. The Buddha himself has been in a situation where one of his Sotapanna disciples have regularly drinking alcohol in quite a quantity, breaking the fifth precept. The Lord Buddha in this case confirmed that the disciple was a Sotapanna without any doubt about it. How then can we understand that a Sotapanna never breaks precepts?
The real precepts are the other four, not the fifth one. The fifth one is just a bad habit to avoid. Because if you drink alcohol, you can become drunk, and then you will not be able to control your mind to keep the other four precepts. But with a Sotapanna, he will never break the other four precepts. So when he drinks alcohol, he doesn't hurt anybody or himself. He drinks and then he just go to sleep. See. But if someone who has no ability to control the other four precepts, once they get drunk, they might go and break the other four precepts easily. Go kill, to steal, go commit adultery, or go lie. So with a Sotapanna, he will not definitely break the other four precepts. But the fifth is not considered to be a precept. Like Arahants still smoke or chew bitter nut. But they don't chew it like normal people do. Normal people usually chew or drink with passion, with desire. Arahants just chew as a matter of no emotion involved. So it's different, and no attachment. They can have it or leave it any time. It doesn't bother their mind. Last one.
No, I think this continuation that in our time we have to sometimes face that fact that this disciple was doing it, and we do not have Lord Buddha to state about this attainment. Can we deny his Sotapanna attainment?
You cannot deny the truth. So if he is a Sotapanna, he is, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't make you a Sotapanna or not a Sotapanna. If he is a Sotapanna, let him be a Sotapanna. Like if he's a Frenchman, let him be a Frenchman. So what? It's no big deal. That's all.
Last question. Can someone who is on celestial realms have some possibility to meet noble ones and Aryas on his loka and be taught by them? Thank you for answering our
It depends on the noble person, whether he has the ability to connect with the celestial being or not. Like Ajahn or the Buddha, they have the ability to connect. So when these people are around, then usually there will be celestial beings who would go and listen to their Dhamma talks. So right now there might be monks somewhere in the world who can connect with the celestial being, and there might be celestial beings who go attend and listen to Dhamma talks from those persons. So the person has to be ability to connect with the celestial person, and he must be an arahant to be useful. Then he can teach. But if he's just normal person, then he will not. Some people might be able to connect with a celestial being, but not being enlightened. See, because the ability to connect with celestial being doesn't mean you have to be an enlightened person. It only means that you have the ability to concentrate your mind to the level in which you can connect. This is on the samadhi level, on the jhana level. So there are people who can connect with the spirit, but they cannot teach Dhamma. See, if they're not enlightened.
So to have that ability, do we train to do it, or is natural?
It's part of your past. You might have trained this before in your past lives. See. So when you meditate, when your mind becomes calm, then you will automatically be able to connect with spiritual beings. But if you have not learned this process, then you won't be able to connect.
Thank you for answering.
Is that all the questions?
On YouTube. Okay. Dear Ajahn, what is the best method of meditation? This question is from YouTube.
Well, the method that suits you best. See. If you like watching your breathing, you watch your breathing. If you like using a mantra, you repeat a mantra like Bhutto, Bhutto. But the important thing is not the method. The important thing is the mindfulness. Because once you have the right method, but if you have no mindfulness, you will not succeed anyway. So you need to develop mindfulness and then find the right method that is suitable to you. The suitable method doesn't guarantee success. Mindfulness will always guarantee success. So you need to develop strong mindfulness before you sit and meditate. If you don't have strong mindfulness, you can sit but you will not succeed because your mind will go all over the place. So you have to curb your mind from running around first by using mindfulness in your daily activity. Whatever you do, you have to keep curbing your mind from thinking, either using a mantra or by focusing on your activity. Then you will have mindfulness. Then when you sit, then your mind will then become peaceful and calm. Okay?
Okay.
Is that all the question for today? All right. How are this question come about? Did they connect you through email or they go into the Facebook page?
The Facebook page and also the Suchart website from her.
I see.
Yeah.
So
And some line me or some email me.
I see.
Those who I know.
And they know that this will be answered and then put on YouTube.
Yes,
So they can go into the YouTube
yes.
and listen to the answer and question. Okay. That's pretty good. Maybe you can ask them to send in some feedback whether this method works okay. If they like, when we ask questions, we can also tell them that we go live on YouTube and Facebook also. They're usually about 3:30, so you can tell them the time when we go live. Maybe if they happen to be able to connect, then they can maybe listen live at the same time.
Okay.
Or maybe not, it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
They can always go into the Facebook page. You give them the link to connect to, right?
Yes.
Or just the YouTube. Usually YouTube. Right?
YouTube, yeah. But because if I have 20 questions, it's about 30 minutes. So if if I have more, then we may need to spend some time more.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for sending in the questions, and hope this answer will help clarify some of your doubts and assist you on your progress toward enlightenment. Good luck to you all.